Blood tests save lives, but only when they are properly understood. Medicine rarely makes mistakes in data. It makes mistakes in interpretation. This is precisely where today the boundary lies between formal concern for health and real life-saving care. A blood test is not a certificate. It is a concentrated biography of the body expressed in numbers, dynamics, and interconnections. Within these indicators lie the beginnings of disease long before symptoms appear, the effectiveness or uselessness of therapy, and hidden risks that cannot be heard through a stethoscope. Why blood tests must be taken regularly. The human body is a dynamic system. It changes faster than is commonly assumed, under the influence of stress, nutrition, sleep, infections, hormonal shifts, and age. A single test is a photograph. Serial tests are a film. And it is in the film that one can see where health is moving, toward compensation or toward breakdown. Regularity turns laboratory data into a forecasting tool rather than a post-mortem explanation. Physician overload is a systemic problem, not an individual fault. The modern physician works under conditions of chronic time shortage. 15 minutes per appointment, 5 to 7 minutes for test results, sometimes less. Meanwhile, deep interpretation of blood tests objectively takes 20 to 40 minutes per patient if done professionally. Comparing indicators before and after, accounting for ethnicity, age, and sex, considering chronic and past diseases, analyzing relationships between markers rather than individual numbers, identifying an individual norm rather than an averaged reference range. This cannot be integrated into a standard workflow without loss of quality. As a result, the physician is forced to simplify, and the patient loses the chance for early intervention and early-stage disease detection. The main mistake patients make. I took the tests, so everything is under control. Taking tests is not enough. Reading the values is useless. Comparing them to reference ranges is dangerous. A reference range is statistics, not you. Health is context. High-quality interpretation is not decoding. It is a meaningful explanation of what is happening in the body. It is what turns numbers into clinical understanding. Why physicians and patients are increasingly using Aima Diagnostics. Because modern medicine does not need another test, but an intellectual intermediary between data and the physician. Aima Diagnostics performs deep, structured interpretation of blood test results, compares data in dynamics, accounts for individual patient characteristics, forms a ready-made clinical context. For the physician, this is not a replacement, but an enhancement, freeing time for communication, thinking, and decision-making rather than mechanical review of numbers. For the patient, it means clarity, logic, and understanding rather than anxiety and guesswork, a conclusion that cannot be ignored. High-quality interpretation is the key to understanding health. It is not the tests themselves that save lives, but their correct interpretation. In an era of overloaded medicine, those who prevail are those who know how to work with data more deeply and more intelligently. That is why the future belongs to solutions that return the most important thing to physicians, time to think, and give patients an understanding of their own bodies.